Thursday morning, everybody. Hope you had a good night's sleep. And as we look at today's devotion, I want us to look at the very last aspect of the development of godly character in that list of Paul that he gives us in Galatians 5. And this last characteristic kind of sounds like it's sort of an undoing of everything we've been learning, but it really isn't. This last characteristic is called self-control. Now, the word that Paul uses here for self-control is the idea of grasping or holding something in strength. It can also mean a controlling power or a dominion. Now, that begins to click in our brains that, whoa, that takes us all the way back to Genesis, when Adam and Eve were first given or promised dominion. And yet they lost it because of their rebellion. So that dominion or that control was a part of their original inheritance. So when Paul uses this list here in Galatians 5, this aspect of self-control is indicating the full restoration of man to the dominion that he lost at the fall in the garden. That means that God's redemption is designed to be complete. So godly character is more than just developing some admirable traits. It's really a preparation for God using us in all eternity. Paul is telling us that the full process of redemption or restoration is going to be accomplished in us through the Holy Spirit of Jesus, who now lives in us and will reproduce in us the character of Jesus, the character of that Holy Spirit, the character of God. All of who God is now being restored in us. Now, we also know that through the Old Testament, the law was unable to do that. But now, by the grace of God and by the truth of the gospel and through the indwelling presence of the Spirit of God, the grace of God can do what the law was not able to do. Now, that means that we're not merely saved just so we can go to heaven. Now, that's maybe a side effect or a side benefit, but it's not the primary reason for us being saved. It means that we are a people who are being prepared for eternal purposes, as I said just a few moments ago. And that means that we therefore need to allow God to accomplish this process of redemption within us as individuals and as a redeemed people. Now, God intends to redeem humanity, those who have responded to the gospel in faith. And in that redemption, God is going to make us useful again. He's going to make us holy again. He's going to restore to us the dominion that we lost due to our sinful rebellion. And that means all the effects of the fall are going to be undone through this ministry, the redemptive ministry of the Spirit of God within us as his people. Now, in all of this simple list, we look at all God is doing, and we stand in awe of the amazing miracle of redemption that God is accomplishing. And I believe this list points to that amazing process. Now, as we come to this final characteristic, it says we now possess self-control. God can trust us to do whatever he desires. And he says to us at that point, I don't have to control you. You've been gentled. I'm going to give you a free rein. You now possess the dominion that you lost, and I know that you will desire to please me in every way. So in this process then, we are loved by God, we rejoice in him, we are at peace with him, we are now patient as he is patient, we are kind as he is kind, and we are good as he is good. We are a people who are now faithful to him. We are a people who he can once more rely upon to do his will and to seek his glory. We are a people who have yielded all of our strength, body, soul, and spirit to him. We have been gentled by his loving but firm hand. And now, like the horse who has been completely gentled, as I mentioned, we are given free rein to do as we see fit, knowing that we will never again rebel from the God who has loved us and redeemed us. by the cross of Christ, by the redemption of Christ, by the indwelling Spirit of Christ, and we will once more reign and possess dominion with Christ. Now, in all of that, there's probably only one thing we can say as we look at this process of developing godly character, and that is, to God be the glory forever and ever. Amen. Have a great day. Bye-bye. God bless.